Welcome back, Promise Church. Michelle here. Today in Promise Kitchen, we are going to be whipping a vegan stir fry. So I'm gonna tell you really quick, like few things that you can do. Tofu is a good choice. You could use like the crumble burger meat like we had before, the vegan burger meat. But tofu is really good. You wanna make sure you drain it because it comes in water. So make sure you drain it before you put it in the counter, because if not, you could have a bit of a mess. And then you just wanna cut it in equal parts because you want your tofu to cook evenly. Again, it doesn't need to cook for a long time, but you want to have it at least cooking and browning for 10 minutes. So I like it in little squares. You could cut whatever is best for you, but I think squares is easier to keep the shape of them while they cook. And also they cook evenly because they're kind of like all the same size. Tofu is not hard at all. So you don't need to put too much pep to cut it. It's super simple. It's like cutting a little slice of, I don't know, something mushy, I guess. Alrighty, so simple stuff. Again, you could buy it in any grocery store. You don't need a vegan grocery store or anything like that. So today we're gonna be serving these with quinoa and brown rice, because for the people that have busy lives, 90 minutes in the microwave is a must. All right. So I am going to use these vegetables. You could use fresh veggies, but again, if you are, doing like a quick life, this is super easy. You just throw it there and you forget about it. So this is Sofrito cubes. I make these just because I like a little seasoning. In your stir fry, you can add pineapple. It gives a nice flavor. You could add fresh ginger, and you could add peppers. So in this one, I'm not using peppers because my kids are finicky about it. So I'm not using peppers for this recipe. So sofrito is just like your basic onions, peppers, garlic kind of mixture, and it just gives you a nice little flavor, and you don't have all those things to dice. So what I do, I take onion, peppers, different colors, fresh garlic, some cilantro, parsley, put it on in a blender, put everything on an ice cube tray, freeze them, and then you have these fancy little sofrito cubes. They're great for flavor on a quick meal. So things that you need to make a vegan stir fry mixture, if you want to make it from scratch, you will need Tamari soy sauce, and this is not it's a thicker soy sauce, and it's really delicious. It has a nice little flavor. And you will need like rice vinegar. So if you don't have these ones in your home, and you will need like fresh garlic and ginger, and you will also need fresh like cornstarch. So if those are things that you don't have at home, you might want to like read the recipe and see what you need. But if you don't want to do the stir fry sauce from scratch, you could go to any market, Asian market, Publix, and just buy yourself a vegan stir fry magic sauce. All right, Promise Church, are you ready to cook? Let's go to the kitchen. Oh, we are in the kitchen. I guess let's go to the stove. All right. So we are going to have, again, our pan is already preheated. So you know how I love this fancy, super cool flavor oil. So again, we don't measure, just about a tablespoon, just throw it there, or maybe 2 tablespoons. And we're gonna throw our sofrito cubes because you wanna cook those there. You want your tofu to have a little bit of flavor, because sometimes tofu can be a little bland, and you wanna be able to enjoy your meal. So just put it there and let it start simmer. You want it to it kind of gets like nice golden brown. So let's just throw a little bit of pepper, because pepper makes everything better. So let's just throw some pepper there. And again, this is gonna need about 5 to 7 minutes to get a nice color, and just to lose a little bit of the water that it packs on it. because you're gonna have vegetables, and because they're frozen vegetables, they do have water, so you don't wanna cover these right away. You wanna make sure you give it time for the water to evaporate a little bit. And again, Valerie, with her magic, she will make this look all nice and fancy by the time we are done. And I know you cannot smell this, but it smells delish. And we are going to get all in this groove together. We are in this together, like Pastor will say. All right. And we're also going to be giving you guys some tips about healthy stuff that you could do at home that might make it a little bit easier just when you have run out of ideas to like do like simple snacks, whether it's for you or for kids. You could put the heat now to like a 5. This is an electric stove, so about a 5 just because you want them to really start cooking. And then we are going to throw some vegetables. We're going to do the rice. We're going to put it on our plate. And you are going to see how pretty all of this is going to look. I usually add the veggies with it so they can start cooking and draining some of the water before you put the sauce. So the sauce is gonna give it a nice glaze. Again, you could add whatever vegetables you prefer. We're gonna make it really nice and hot now because we like it hot in this house. So let's bump it up to about a 7 and let them simmer a little bit. I'm just gonna put a lid just for a little bit, just to thaw the vegetables out for a little bit, but we don't wanna keep it covered too much because we don't want everything to get soggy. Alrighty, we're gonna take like a 2-second break and then we'll be back. Okay, Promise Church, we're back. I didn't know I had to look at this camera, but now you see me. Alrighty, so we're ready. This is looking nice and pretty, and it'll get darker. So I'm not gonna make my stir fry sauce from scratch, so I'm just gonna use this one. I usually just pour it a little wildly because we like a lot of glaze in this house too, but half a cup should be about enough for this size that we're doing today. So you wanna make sure, just go over everything because you do want everything to get all of that goodness in it. If you suffer from migraines and you are allergic to MSG, which is something that is used in a lot of condiments, a lot of stuff, that's when you will do your sauce from scratch, and it will be like really, really helpful and still really delicious, but you won't get a headache. With much of the time, that's what I make it from scratch. Okay, we're gonna stir this. As you can see, again, I'm not a fancy chef, so I spill and make messes, and my kitchen is rolling over here. Look how pretty this looks. Make sure all the tofu is covered by that sauce because you want it to have a nice flavor, and you want all the pieces to have that flavor, so when you eat it, you are going to enjoy this. All right, so we're gonna lower the heat to about a 2 because you do want the sauce to make a little glaze. So I'm gonna cover it. Look how pretty that looks, Promise. We're going to cover it just halfway. Just leave a little bit so the steam can escape. And now we are gonna do the fantastic rice. So this one is really cool. I buy them at Sam's. Again, I don't work for Sam's. And you know, my disclaimer. So this one, you just kind of squish it a little bit, and then you just open these little vents like this on the sides, and you pop it in the microwave. 90 seconds, Promise Church, and you'll see the magic in about 90 seconds. Bye. Welcome back, Promise Church. We're gonna wrap up this vegan stir fry. So our rice already cooked, our stir fry is looking fabulous, and it smells good. Be careful with this one because when you open it, let it sit in the microwave. It has steam and it could burn really bad. It hurts. I tried it, so you don't have to. All right, you see that steam? So again, I'm not a chef, so that's why it gets rice outside of the plate. But it's okay because these happy people in this house is gonna eat it. So these little pouches can serve about 2 people. And then you're gonna get this delicious stir fry and you're gonna serve it. Again, people, not a famous chef, so I don't have all these skills, but here we go. All right, Promise. Tell me how this looks. Doesn't it look delicious? And then you finish it with a corito and some Spanish maracas. Dame fe, oh Señor, dame fe. Dame fe, oh Señor, yo te lo pido. Dame fe, oh Señor, dame fe. Dame fe, oh Señor, yo te lo pido. Porque hay cadenas que romper, hay victoria que obtener. Cada día, cada hora, dame fe. Porque hay cadenas que romper, hay victoria que obtener. Cada día, cada hora, dame fe. Okay, stay tuned. Valerie has more fun recipes here with Michelle at Promise Kitchen. Bye-bye.